Good morning, class. The fish and I are here today at the school in room 210 to give you a little lesson on mitosis. Mitosis is the process by which cells within your body grow and divide and reproduce. So why do you think that your cells in your body would need to do that? Well, every time that your cells get old and die, they need to be replaced. And so your cells in your body are constantly dividing 24/7. So if your cells are dividing constantly 24/7, what benefit does your body have because of that? What does the cell division enable your body to do? Well, let's take a look here. Cells divide because it helps your body grow. You're at an age where your bodies are growing. Some of you are getting taller. Some of you are physically developing. You constantly need to be replacing old cells. Your skin is replaced every 28 days. The bones in your body, bone cells are replaced. Your whole skeleton is replaced every 90 days, every 3 months, because the cells only last or only live so long. It enables your body to change. Some of you might be weightlifting, and you might be trying to increase the muscle size or make your body faster, bigger, faster, stronger. Well, when you do that, you tear muscles down and it has to rebuild, and it allows your body to change. If you were riding your bike and you fell down and scun up your knee or your elbow, or you fell and you broke your arm, your body would have to heal itself, and this takes time. And the process of mitosis helps that your body heal itself. So through mitosis, your body goes through the ability to replicate, duplicate, copy, make clones of the cells that your body has. This process of mitosis goes through a series of steps or phases that we're going to take a look at today, and look at them, break them down to see what happens in each of the phases, and also give you a little analogy, give you a little trick to remember the phases of mitosis in order. So let's switch over to a different screen here, or put me down in the corner, and let's take a look at some stuff here that is what mitosis is all about. So this is from the book. Mitosis is cell division. It goes through stages. The first, and we'll review these in detail later. The first is interphase. Interphase is the growth and synthesis of the DNA, copying of the DNA. And then it goes through phases called PMAT. P is prophase, M is metaphase, A is anaphase, and T is telophase. So PMAT are the phases of mitosis. All of this happens relatively quickly. This happens, maybe takes about 80 minutes to 2 hours for this division to grow, or the division of the cells to take place. Scrolling down here, we're going to break each of these down. First of all, the things that you're going to see inside of the cells down here, the squiggly lines, those are what we call chromosomes. Chromosomes, at some point in the process, which we'll talk about in a minute, they will thicken up and become visible as like the letter X's. This chromatin material, the DNA material, scrunches up, bunches up, and is held together. The two strands, strand 1, strand 2, are held together by a little button in the middle called the centromere. This is called a double-stranded chromosome. It has 2 chromatids. Okay, so let's take a look at interphase. Interphase is the part of part of mitosis where the cell is growing itself. The chromosomes are all stretched out. They can't be seen right now, but they are actively duplicating themselves. So here we have the cell membrane. We have some structures called centrioles right here. We have a nuclear membrane right here that holds all this together, keeps all the chromosomes in a little baggie. And that's one of the things that makes this what it is, a eukaryotic cell. Not prokaryotic, but eukaryotic. And inside there we have a dark structure called the nucleolus. These squiggly lines are the chromosomes, and they're all stretched out. So that was the interphase that we talked about up here, and they spend a lot of their time in there. We come down to the next stage, prophase, and you can see that the chromosomes now this is like a view through a microscope. The chromosomes are becoming more visible. They're thickening up. Okay, they become visible. The nuclear membrane starts to disappear. The structures called the centrioles, they start to move to the ends of the cell. And these other structures, these little thread-like structures called spindle fibers, start to form. So that's prophase. The next stage of mitosis is called metaphase. Meta, M-E-T-A, if you look at the Latin meaning of meta, that means middle. Okay, you can see through the microscope up here that the chromosomes are all lined up in the middle. You can actually see the spindle fibers and how they all come back down to this little certain area here where the centrioles would be. The animation or the drawing section of that, you see all the chromosomes are scrunched down now, condensed down into these letter X's with their centromeres. The centrioles are here with the spindle fibers, and the spindle fibers are attached to the centromeres. So I like to give you another little analogy about, like, what if you were out four-wheeling and got your four-wheeler stuck? What do you do? Well, usually you use your winch and you hook it up to a tree and you pull your four-wheeler out. So if that were the case, these are the winch cables, this is the tree, and this is your four-wheeler, and we're going to pull it out. We're going to pull it out. They're lined up, they're stuck in the middle, we're going to pull them apart. Okay, so that's what's going to happen next. After they line up, they go to anaphase. Anaphase is the process where these chromosomes start to get pulled apart. Okay, so the spindle fibers starting to shorten up. The winch cables are pulling on the chromosomes, and the chromosomes, the two sister chromatids, separate and go to opposite ends of the cell. That's anaphase. The last part is telophase, and you can see you can see up here in the microscope view that the chromosomes are being pulled apart. You still see the spindle fibers. You can still see where the centriole is. You can still see the cell membrane here. And then finally we go to telophase. Telophase is where everything kind of starts to go back to normal. Where nuclear membrane reappears and encapsulates this bunch of chromosomes. Over here we have another nuclear membrane forming to encapsulate this bunch of chromosomes or chromatids. The cell itself starts to pinch off and divide into two different cells, and ultimately when this is complete, we're going to end up with two completely identical clone copies of the original parent cell. These two cells have become daughter cells, and the original cell way up here is the one we call the parent cell. So there you have it. We have mitosis is the way that the cells divide. It is the way that your body will keep producing more and more cells and keep you, the human being alive. I would like to remember I talked earlier that your body, that 99% of your body cells go through this mitosis process. There is some cells in your body that do not go through this process, and that would be your reproductive cells, your sex cells, your sperm and the egg. Those go through a process that's a little bit more complicated, which we'll talk about in the future. But there are basically two types of cells in your body. There are body cells and there are reproductive cells. Your body cells go through mitosis, and your reproductive cells go through another process called meiosis, which we'll talk about in a different video in the future. Okay. That mitosis is a type of reproductive process called asexual reproduction. These cells are cloning, they're dividing themselves. They're not combining genetic material from two different organisms, where like in sexual reproduction. There are lots of ways that organisms are able to do things, reproduce through ways called reproductive or asexual reproduction. I'm just going to change the screen here a little bit and show you a little bit about some different types of asexual reproduction. So first of all, there's binary fission, where things start to split. A cell splits. We have mitosis, and then we have another section or another type called budding. I think I goofed that up. Oh, here we go. We have budding. That's where you produce a little tiny mini me off the side of yourself. So this is what we call a hydra, and it's producing a little mini hydra here. And when the hydra gets big enough to live on its own, it will fall off and become its own hydra. And so those are all identical clones of the parent. Here we have the mitosis, that we have the parent cell dividing, breaks, and makes two clones of the parent. We have splitting in half over here with binary fission, and you have two clones of the original. And then the last bit of the way that we're going to learn about asexual reproduction is regeneration. Here we have like a starfish that has lost an arm, and it is regenerating a body. Over here we have a lizard that loses its tail, and it will regenerate the tail. So those are types of asexual reproduction. Most of your body cells go through some type of asexual reproduction, mostly mitosis. And your sex cells go through a process called meiosis. And that's where there's an exchange of genetic material and combining of that. Okay, so there is my little mini lesson on mitosis. Hope you have a great day. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.